Who am I to tell you, right? I've been more of an avoidant my whole life. You know, what do I know about relationships? Well, sometimes the people who make the most mistakes are those who are able to pierce through reality a little bit more. Mistakes forces you to observe things more because you want to get it right. When you get things right from the beginning, you don't really analyze things deeper, right? You're following an example. You maybe had good examples, and so you automatically have the unconscious habits to do the right thing, right? It's like people who are naturally talented, they're not good at teaching a sport that they're naturally talented in because they just get it at a visceral level. The people who become the best teachers are those who were not naturally talented, who actually struggled with the basics, but for some reason or another managed to get at the same levels or approximate those who are naturally talented. Like Hercules, or like what's his name from the movie with Brad Pitt, like Achilles fighting the guy that looked Latino, right? Where yeah, he lost to you, but he's a human. And that's fucking phenomenal. And if I had a teacher, I will go with the guy that lost because I know how he is. So sometimes people, even though, you know, like I said, I may not set the best example, you know, you sometimes suffer with your mistakes and you get illuminated at things, but through your mistakes, right? It's like people who understand human nature the most usually have done the most mistakes. But people who do the most mistakes sometimes appear to be the last person who you want to get advice from, right? So I totally get it. So we're going to talk about that. And don't forget, people, we're selling our paintings. I'm trying to sell my paintings to you guys. This is the Leonardo da Vinci painting done by my student. Okay, you guys can. It's an oil. You guys can purchase it by clicking the description down below. We're in the comment section. And this is Mudang, another painting done by my student. My student paintings are approximately $300 each. That includes shipping and handling. But these is the paintings that I've done, right? And these are 1,000, but this is like, it's done by me, right? Those were done under my supervision with my own style. Like it literally looks like my style. But these ones are done by me. This is oil. No, this is not oil. It looks like oil, right? This is watercolor and watercolor. And what do you call that thing? Gouache. And you see that thing right there? Right here, people. See that girl? That's in what you call it? Yeah, here you go. That's in pastels. And that's also 1,000. It looks so realistic. But that's because I'm a good teacher, man. Like Father Alex went to art school. All right, so okay, so let's begin. Look, the first advice that I want you guys to understand is that, and this is actually the truth in life, is that it will end someday. The relationship will end. You got to understand we're naturally guided by fear. And if we suppress the reality that this relationship will end, you don't do it because you want to end it. You do it so that you could appreciate it. It's like the metaphor of meditating on your mortality. You meditate on your death, not because you want to die, but because it allows you to appreciate the little moments. The understanding that this relationship will end, that one day, you either through death or somehow it'll end, you actually end up not taking them for granted. Because it's the illusion of permanence that causes us to stop paying attention. So always remember, they will die. Not with that. It's true, right? It's like your parents, right? Your friends. There's no closer reality than looking at someone and realizing that they're going to die one day. And you know what happens? As soon as you realize that, you almost want to get closer to them. That's what happens when you connect with reality. You actually want to connect with humans. When you disconnect from reality, disconnecting from the ultimate separation and disintegration, you actually end up not connecting and becoming more numb to other people because you think they're always going to be there. Now, the next one is that it may not be important to you, but it is to them. And this is where empathy comes in. And this is what I learned with my family. I learned this with my mom, actually, is that the lectures, man. And it's even to this day, I'm not good at that. Look, I know you don't like texting your mom at night or texting a lot. You feel forced, even though I do feel forced, even though she also has to fucking chill, right? But dude, just send her that text. You know, if it makes her happy, why does that bother you? Right? It may not be important to you, but it is to her. Right? Maybe that's the validation that she craves. Maybe that's the love that she never got as a child. Right? And to you, it's not important. But for you to disregard that is to disregard her feelings. And over time, you build resentment. And they start texting you more, and you feel like you're being suffocated. And I feel that way sometimes. But it's because I'm not doing my part, right? Like, I also have to stop being so defensive and see that as just her being pathetically needy. And also see it as, she's just human, dude. You fell for the trick. She made you think she's super perfect, because that's what parents do. And now you're treating her like that way. It's like, no, look inside. Realize she's a human that has flaws and that she needs this validated. And so with the relationships, we don't do that. We sort of just say, oh, man up, like a guy. That's what I would say. Just deal with it. Meditate. But it's like, no, dude, like, you're there. You can make it so much easier. Don't you want that? Right? That's a source of a lot of conflict in people's lives. The next thing is that learn to live with yourself. And that usually means that don't lose yourself in a relationship. Yeah, sometimes you change your priorities. By the way, see, I'm sitting down. I'm giving you guys the other section. By the way, people, let me know what you guys think. Should I write them or just write the whole thing, but have like little sections where I actually write it? You know, where it looks like the whole statement, but it's blank. That'll reduce the writing time. Let me know what you guys think. I think that's a good alternative. But you gotta learn to live with yourself. Because if you don't know how to be happy on your own, them leaving you the thought of them leaving you is going to cause you to get super needy and develop more attachment that could potentially push people away. You got to learn to not lose yourself and not completely make it your whole life. Always leave 10% of everything to yourself. Always leave something. Like for me, you know, there's one thing that a woman will never have of me, and that's my basketball time. Like that's something that she'll never take away from me. My basketball time, that's something that's always for me. I will never stop playing basketball. And so that's the percentage that I have, that when she's home, I'll go play basketball. She's not gonna come with me, because why is she gonna want to go play? Unless she wants to watch me play. But you get what I mean, right? You don't do everything with them. And so it's kind of like, now you might say, oh, Father Alex, you're always alone. Oh, yeah, of course. By the way, I don't know why you sound like a guy. But yes, I am alone, right? But that's a quality of avoidance that you guys can learn from, right? Because my thing that I have to learn is to include her in my life a little bit more, right? But from my perspective, what you can learn from me, because there's always the truth behind everything, is that sometimes you gotta give something to yourself and not give it up. You know, it's just how that works. The next one is that, this is a good one. And this is something that once you're in a petty zone, you lose this. Give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Like me, I always lose things. I swear to God, I always lose things. But I have to be careful when I lose things and people are all around. Like I lost my camera one day, and my assistant, like, she left. I was like, where's my camera? And my thought immediately went, I was like, maybe she took it. But then I'm like, Alexis, the fuck? Give her the benefit of the doubt. She never done anything for you to think that. And I was like, it's not that, right? But that only happens when it's just like a natural thing. It's actually, if you don't be careful, you're not gonna blame yourself. If you don't be careful, you're gonna think the worst of them. And so it's kind of like, if they don't text you, like I tell my mom, if I don't text you, I'm not dead. The cartel didn't fucking take me. They don't want me. Look at my skin color. They're like, ese no. Trump no quiere ese, man. Busca el blanquito, busca el güero. Deja que ese morenazo se vaya. Right? It's like, come on, man. Like, so it's kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. Mom, if I don't text you, I'm not dead. Give me the benefit of the doubt. But if you cannot give the person the benefit of the doubt, there's something wrong. There's something wrong, boo-boo. Something is wrong. You got to give people the benefit of the doubt, people. All right? Because why? If you don't, that's a red flag. The relationship is already deteriorating. And this is actually a big one. Never lie. You know, a lot of people say, Alexis, how do you say the things that you say and have a relationship? First of all, you know, I have relationships every now and then, but I just don't lie. I just don't lie to people. Like, I'd rather deal with the consequences of lying, oh God, he lied, of the truth than the benefits of lying. Like, there's some things I lie about, right? For example, like if my friends say, hey, Alexis, what do you, when they hang out? Nah, I'm busy. When in reality, I'm just home doing shit. Right? It's like, whatever. But like with relationships, like, you know, I've let go of good women because I didn't want to be monogamous. But I could have easily lied. That's what a lot of dudes do. You know, do I want a pat on the back? I don't know. But I could have easily lied, but I said no because I know I'm not going to be faithful. So I wasn't ready for that type of relationship. So I'd rather just not be with you and not lie to you, right? When the habit of most guys is just lie. So it's kind of like, nah, dude, like honestly, your life and your karma will be much better if you don't lie. Just that simple. I know it sounds crazy for all the liars out there, but I feel at peace because I don't have to write down and remember my lies. Like, that's fucking horrible. Sounds like a nightmare, people. The next thing, and this is, I was told this by a couple that's been together for 60 years. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's old school shit. It's like a beautiful, beautiful architect. You hardly see that. And that, discuss life goals. Discuss your life goals. Do you want kids? Like, that's before marriage. They told me. I was like, what's your best advice? And they were like, well, you know, before you get married, talk about kids. Talk about what you want. How do you want to parent? Because that's not my advice, but that's what he told me. What might surprise you is that they may have different goals than you. Short-term goals, a lot of the times, doesn't equal the same long-term goals. You know, a lot of couples don't talk about that. Talk about how much debt you're in. Talk about how you spend money. Like, a lot of couples don't talk about that. You know, if you watch Shira 7 and now you want to date fucking Zen, the fucking programmer who saves up money, who just fucking China, right? Y'all gonna fight because he likes to save money. And Shira's telling you, hey, you better live that glamorous, soft lifestyle. And he's like, oh no, we got to save money. It's like, yo, like, it's incompatible. It's incompatible, right? So you gotta talk about that kind of stuff, man. And especially if you guys want kids, your financial habits before you get married, right? And again, I say that as someone who's not married, right? Because, you know, a lot of you guys like to say that. The next thing is that, look, man, you gotta be like a ref, right? No, you can't be like a ref. Don't keep score. A lot of people keep score, and that's a red flag because you should be giving 60%. And the other person should feel like they're giving 60%. But you shouldn't keep score. You shouldn't say, oh, today I did this. That's my point. Hey, yesterday you didn't do that. That's another point. Hey, yesterday you didn't clean the dishes. Another point. I'm not sucking your dick tonight. Hey, you fucking were late yesterday. You lose a point. Hey, I did the dishes yesterday, so give me my point back. And now you fucking give back points like it's a fucking rebate. And it's like, yo, like, I've lived in a house like that. My aunt, they're not like that no more, which is beautiful, honestly. But they were like that. They used to fight about that. And they used to put me in the middle. They're like, that lazy. Mira, dile a tu mujer que haga lo que tenga que hacer. Yo dije, tío, pero yo no sé, tío. Mira, yo soy de todo aquí viviendo. Yo no quiero meterme en la pelea. And they always kept score with each other. And it led to a lot of fighting. A lot of fucking Father Alex happened to be the middle guy. And that is a sign that it's not good. I don't know how they were able to fix it, but keeping score is when you start to get petty. And really, that's really just ego, honestly. That's really just ego. The next one, and I learned this, conflict increases love and respect. A lot of people see conflict as a sign that the relationship is not good. Unfortunately, you gotta change your perspective. Conflict is actually a good thing. Conflict is if you guys are not toxic, it's a good thing. If you tell me that conflict is not good, it's because you're toxic, boo-boo. Okay, it's really that simple. You either him or you don't know how to take criticism, and the fact that if it's just him, then why are you there? You're toxic, right? So it doesn't matter if they can't communicate the right way. If incompatibilities lead to fights rather than discussions, it's a red flag. You guys and when that happens, y'all gotta go to therapy. For real, right? Y'all gotta go to therapy. And that actually goes into my next point. All right. 9 is therapy. And I say this because I did go to one with the last girl that I was with. Really great person, by the way. But we try to fix it, right? Because I had a problem. I didn't want monogamous, and I don't know. When I went there, it just felt nice. I was like, this is much better. Like we could communicate more. We could be like, Doctor, mira como ella. No, I'm kidding. But we could communicate more, and like it if it would have worked out, like it sort of like, it's almost like, imagine adding an extra boost of rationality between the two of you, right? Imagine that you could boost your rationality by 50%, right? Imagine that, where you're not talking with your ego. That's what a therapist does. It kind of removes the cloud of pettiness because you got to behave, right? And so if a relationship is struggling to stay alive, a lot of people just don't go to therapy because they see it as a bad thing, and it's kind of like, nah, like you'd be surprised. Like the strongest people are the ones that go to these things. Like the weakest people don't do that because their ego doesn't let them. Okay? And I'm gonna say this. Next one. Turn complaints, I heard this, into requests. And above all, have a warm start. Don't be like, don't say, hey, motherfucker, why you always leaving shit like that? Be like, hey, Tyrone, can you got to help me out a little bit with this, please? Because, this and this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's really your attitude, right? Because Tyrone doesn't like to be talked to, like, be complained to. It's really about the tone, your warm tone, right? Always have good intentions when things are wrong, right? Like, don't complain about it, talk about it. And if you're complaining about it, it's just that, one, you guys are keeping score. And two, if you're reaching to the point where you're complaining, just go to a therapist, man, honestly. Go see that white therapist, Jake the therapist, and just talk it out. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, honestly, like, I was shocked. Like, I could sense differences. I was shocked by how different the communication style was with a therapist. Like, so it's, and if you guys end up fighting too much in a therapy session, boo-boo, y'all got to break up and see your own therapist, because clearly you guys are dealing with trauma. Clearly, right? And the next thing is have a spiritual practice together. It makes sex better. Have a spiritual practice. And what I mean by that, meditate together, pray together, do some form of spirituality together. It really does bond you. And cult leaders understand that to get sex from the people, because I'm not even just going to say women, because these fucking guys are crazy. You layer the sex behind spirituality. Spirituality does increase your sex life. Like if you layer your sex, God, we're about to have some holy sex, Lord. Bless. I don't know, dude. Nah. But I've definitely done sex after meditation, right? With a girl that I was dating. That's actually nice. But have a spiritual practice, man, together when you guys practice it. It increases your frontal cortex. It increases your ability to think more rationally by just having a spiritual practice, right? So remember, everything will end. This allows you to appreciate them more, right? Let's get a little closer so that we can have a better summary right here, people. Okay, there you go, right? Get a little closer, Father Alex. Okay. Everything will end by you understanding that. It allows you to appreciate them more. It may not be important to you, but it is to them. Increase your empathy. Understand that sometimes people have legitimate needs, but that just because you don't feel it doesn't mean they don't feel it. Learn to live with yourself, right? Don't let the relationship completely consume you. Leave some things for yourself. People will take you for granted if you don't do this. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's true. Maybe she did fall and tripped on his dick. That happens, right? Never lie. Discuss your life goals before you get into a deeper relationship, right? Don't keep score. If you're keeping score, that's a red flag. You should just do things because you want to. Conflict increases love and respect. Don't see conflict as a negative. Conflict reveals your quality of relationship, and it actually increases it because you're never fully perfectly compatible, right? So conflict allows you to overcome your incompatibility through communication. See a therapist. If y'all can't deal with conflict together, then go see a therapist, because conflict is what allows you to love each other more long term, and seeing a therapist allows you to have better conflict, right? Turn complaints into requests, and above all, have a spiritual practice. Pray something, right? Have some form of spiritual practice. Let me know what you guys think of this video, man. Take care.
If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys can check out my other courses that are more in-depth and more profound, such as the Psychological Game of Attraction, which is a course for women who are single, Natural Chemistry, which is a self-help course on women on how to build your how to embrace their masculine energy, how to embrace their feminine energy, Natural Chemistry, which is a course for women who are in relationships, Charisma Blueprint, which is a course on how to build charisma, Emotional Mastery, which is a course on how to become emotionally resilient. It's pretty much, I teach you what I use to manifest my current life, to be honest with you. And you could purchase them all by joining the Mindful Attraction University, where you could purchase all of my courses. Usually all of my courses are $99. If you purchase all of them, you could get, I believe is $3.99. You could purchase them all. And there you'll be able to get access. And if you don't like the course, you guys can get a refund from Father Alex. Father Alex doesn't scam his subscribers. Father Alex is here to help. So if you guys feel like this video helped, trust me, you will like the course, because it's very rarely that the courses that you purchase from me don't work for that, whatever you're trying to. A lot of people purchase Natural Chemistry to improve their relationships with their partners, and it works. There's plenty of testimony. Just go to the website, Psychological Game of Attraction. If you're single and you apply that course, you won't be single for long, right? I'm telling you, if you're somebody who's overly masculine or you have too much feminine energy, check out the Feminine Woman. It'll teach you how to balance it so that you could have that sensation where you're feminine, but there's strength emanating from you. Right? I mean, too many women have that feminine energy, but it emanates as weakness. I'm here to teach you guys how to use your masculine so that you could strengthen and show that feminine energy without really looking way too masculine or way too feminine. And that allows you to have that beautiful balance that men respect, but also find attractive, right? So you can purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.